Aaron Tuttle here for Ferguson Roof Systems. For 43 years, Ferguson Roof Systems has been protecting Oklahoma's homes and businesses with quality roofing services. Their goal was to be the most honest and dependable roofing company in the state, all while providing free services such as lifetime labor warranty and annual inspections. Well, mission accomplished with thousands of client testimonials, an A+ Better Business Bureau rating, and a 5-star rating on Google. Look, the weather gives you enough to worry about, so why worry about who to trust with your roof? Call Ferguson Roof Systems today or find out more at fergusonroofsystems.com.
Hey everybody, Meteorologist Aaron Tuttle back with you again. It is Friday. You've made it a whole nother work week. It's lunchtime. It is time for your weather update. We're going to find out what's going to happen for the rest of your weekend, so you've come to the right place. We'll get down to the nitty-gritty, dirty here over the next about 5-10 minutes, and we'll cut you loose and let you have the rest of your afternoon and enjoy your lunch. Okay, so out there currently, tell you what, man. Oh, let me, real quick before I do that, let me post this little link here on Facebook in the comment section. So if you're having trouble getting notifications when I go live, just click that, and then I will send you a direct message on your Facebook Instant Messenger. By the way, welcome out there on YouTube, on Rumble, and on Twitter as well. Okay, so let's take a look outside. Lots of clouds out there, right? So that's a good sign. It's been, it really is nice to see clouds for once and a lot of them. Temperature, look at this, 74 degrees in my backyard. Oh, I'm loving it. Yeah, it's hard to believe. We're in the middle of summer. That's what it looks like. Rainfall had a little bit, not as much as some of you though. I'm a little jealous. Did not get quite as much rain as a lot of you have received so far. So let's take a look at that as well. First off, we'll show you the radar view currently. We do have some more showers and a few rumbles of thunder out there across the state, moving from basically west to east. So right now the heaviest stuff is in northeastern Oklahoma, stretching from Tulsa back out west towards Stillwater and Kingfisher. So that's kind of where the consistent rain has been all day. If you look here into central Oklahoma, down to the metro area, we have some of these little spotty showers that are moving through. Occasionally will be heavy rain, with some big drops, and then you'll get nothing. So it doesn't last very long, doesn't add up to a whole lot, but at least it's something, right? It's better than nothing. So that's kind of the way things look right now across the state. This is the first wave that'll move off, and we'll still have these little isolated areas developing as the day goes on. Now, the good news is, again, we are through with the heat advisory across the state. How about that? And believe it or not, that green up there in northwest Oklahoma is for a flash flood watch. Hard to imagine you can go from that. Now, rainfall amounts we talked about, pretty decent here across, say, the 412 corridor. If you went west to east along northern Oklahoma from Tulsa to Enid, back out toward Woodward, 2 inches in some areas where you get those darker greens. East side of Tulsa last night in the evening saw a little brief tornado, believe it or not. Very freak occurrence, leading edge of a storm, produced a very weak tornado, did a little bit of tree damage as far as I've seen, so that's all I've seen so far. But I do know that those of you folks that use my weather app, AT's Weather to Go, you were alerted of the tornado before the warning came out. Did you hear what I just said? If you use my weather app, it will alert you of tornadoes before a warning comes out. That's huge, huge. So make sure you get it, download it, Apple, Google Play, just search for AT's Weather, and you will find it. So I need to find that comment. I think that was on YouTube, believe it or not, that told me that. So it's good to hear. I'm glad you guys are using it. Okay, so here's a look at temperatures out there across the state. We've got 70s and 60s across northern Oklahoma. Yeah, that's just crazy. Actually, let me refresh this, see if it's changed any. Nope, still in 60s and 70s. Down south, though, we're almost at 100 degrees down there, Love, Carter County area. My goodness, along the Red River. That's just too hot for you guys down there. But, I wish I had better news for you. We guess we can't cool down the entire state. We got close. The wind does show what is kind of the area of the cold front. You can see kind of a northeast arrow across the state from northeast to southwest. It kind of stops about the middle part. So if I were to draw this for you here, it would look snaking something like this. Kind of like that. All right, and it's fallen. I mean, it's really weak, so it's real diffuse. It's almost like an outflow boundary at this point from the storms from last night, which means you don't get a whole lot of cooling down here in southern Oklahoma as a result. But the rest of the body of the state at least gets a pretty decent job for today. Now that rainfall came in the right amount of time because the drought picked up, like we talked about last week, so a lot more red, which is extreme drought on the map. Now this does not take into account the rainfall the last couple of days. and the next couple of days. So this will help to alleviate some of this, or at least put the brakes on for a little bit. So that's some good news. Okay, so what's going to happen here for the weekend and the rest of into next week? Here's a look at the jet stream pattern. We'll show you. So remember, the brighter colors indicates the bigger lift in the atmosphere. So if you get those moving over your area, that usually generates some rainfall for you. So what's going to happen? The ridge out in western parts of the country is going to shift positions, and it's going to move across the upper Midwest, kind of centering right over here over Chicago in this last frame. So let me show you what this looks like. So if you're not used to seeing this map, basically you have a high right here, and as we talked about before, the air flows clockwise around a high. Okay, now that's important. All right, why is this important? Well, I also told you once a high get in this area, you got to start watching the coastline. All right, and you got to start watching for things running underneath the high back into our direction. And if you look right here, and this is for next week, we have a low pressure area that actually kind of did one of these things, la 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 la, and then right back up into here, and then intensified with some Gulf moisture added to it. That's great for Texas. They're going to love this. So this is, again, it's a little ways away. This is on the 7th of August. So in other words, it's over a week away, but that's the pattern setting up for more rain. And yes, that means more rain for Oklahoma. Now, as this happens, we'll eventually get a pattern change out here in the west, and we might end up getting two ridges, east and west, and then eventually the east will break down, the west will take over. But we'll see. That's in the far extended for the second half of August, which we won't discuss at this point in time. Just want to give you an update of what's kind of happening here in the short term. Okay, so the colors here on this map, again, indicates lift. You can see there's a lot of it here across parts of Oklahoma through today on into Saturday. And as we head on into Saturday night, that's probably our last big hurrah for Sunday morning. And then Sunday afternoon, there's not a whole lot of that deeper red. There's still some oranges. So there's still going to be a few piddly showers, I think, in some areas, and maybe some more concentrated out across the panhandle. But as far as the more, good heavy stuff that's going to be a lot more beneficial, I think that's going to kind of shut down on Saturday. All right, so here's a look at how things are progressed for today. Again, the big rain was up to the north. You do see it kind of dies out. We do get some of these bubbly showers here across the southern half of the state this afternoon into the evening hours, and then kind of more out here in the western parts of the state move through overnight into tomorrow morning. It's kind of like a repeat of what we saw today. And then we'll have kind of a little bit of a break and then some more bubbly showers out there into the Saturday afternoon and evening. So don't cancel your plans, but just know that they're going to be around. It's going to be hit and miss, scattered in nature. Here 1 minute, gone the next. And there's our last little hurrah there for Sunday morning, I think, moving on through. Now, rainfall amounts, pretty decent. So we're talking another 2 to 3 to 4 inches in some of these areas out here in northern and northwestern Oklahoma. Now, the model doesn't have much here in the metro area, but again, you can't take this for, exactly what it is. It's the general take home, which is higher amounts north and western Oklahoma and a little sprinkling of higher amounts south and east. But in between, we're going to have these little showers. And anytime you get one of these, you're going to get a quick quarter to half inch of rain. It's just the way it is. So they'll still have some decent rains here around the metro area through the weekend. Okay, so also, we're going to have cloud cover to deal with for today, obviously. There'll be a few breaks here and there with some sunshine poking through. Same thing on Saturday, but not a whole lot. And then as we head into Saturday afternoon into the evening, there's a lot more sun that kind of starts to come through as the sun sets. That'll be good. So we'll get a little bit of a break there if you wanted some more sunshine for your weekend. So it's not a completely cloudy, overcast view. And then on Sunday, clouds in the morning, that last little round that moves through, but a lot more sunshine for the afternoon, especially here in southwest Oklahoma, which unfortunately is bad news. All right, so this is the one bad news I have for your weekend. All right, so here's a look at temperatures for today. So we'll be back into the 80s and possibly low 90s here from central Oklahoma down south. Of course, we're already near 100 along the Red River. Much cooler north and west. Now, as we head on to Saturday, so we're in the 70s and 60s in the morning, and then Saturday afternoon, we will rebound you back into the 80s. There are going to be some 90s, though, in the southern third of the state of Oklahoma. Even 80s almost hung on to the 70s up there around Bartlesville. They did briefly warm to around the low 80s. Now, as we head into Sunday, rinse and repeat, 70s in the morning, and then in the afternoon, here's the bad news. What do you see there? Boy, isn't that a rude awakening. 87 in Bartlesville, 104 to 106 to 107 down here in all of southwestern Oklahoma. You're like, what in the world just happened? Now, I will probably knock a couple of degrees off this just because we've had the recent rainfall. So it will be hard to reach those extreme temperatures. But the point being is this. Why is this going to happen? We see all this purple. This indicates dew point values in the low 70s. That's superhuman. That's when you walk out there, you're just like, bleh. All right? That's what that is. All right? Now, also, this is the winds on the map. So the wind, little vector barbs are out of the east, northeast here. What's going to happen? All right, let's just zip on into Sunday morning. All right? So we're going to get rid of all this moisture here at the surface. Here's 10 o'clock in the morning. You see these little southwest wind barbs right here coming in from southwest Oklahoma. It's kind of converging along these winds, which here are the southeast and the purple line where all the juicy dews are. So the dew points go up from the 70s to the 60s in the morning on Sunday. Now watch what happens during the afternoon. We shove all that moisture up here into northern and northeastern Oklahoma, where they still have kind of a southeast wind, and we've had a southwest wind move through, which has dropped our dew points down to the 50s. So with that drier air moving in, and a southwest wind, that allows those temperatures to heat up with that sunshine. So that's the kind of rude awakening I had here for you for Sunday. Now the models, that was just one of our short-term models that kind of hinted at that. It's the first one and the only one at this point in time. But that's the trend for Sunday if it looks like it's going to take shape, which means we'll have to bump these temperatures up here a little bit more, probably closer to 100 degrees for Sunday afternoon here in the metro of Oklahoma City. Otherwise, today and tomorrow, you're looking good. It's, again, not bad. We'll have around 90 or so here in Oklahoma City for today and mid to upper 80s tomorrow, so not bad here for Saturday. But again, Sunday looks a little bit hotter than what this even shows. But the good news is because of that pattern I showed you with that ridge taking shape across the upper Midwest, we don't get obsessively hot in that. We kind of stay just probably right around 100 or a degree or two below in that type of a pattern, which is what the extended outlook shows. So that's some good news. And then we also mentioned how over the weekend we have that little disturbance coming into Texas. So this period here for Saturday, Sunday, Monday, August 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th, look for these numbers out here to be able to change. We may end up dropping these into the 80s depending on cloud cover and when and if how much of that rain moves in across the state line on into our neck of the woods. So that's some good news here for you. So August is not definitely going to be all bad news. All right. So that's it. That's your entire forecast that I covered through the weekend and give you a sneak peek into next week. I'll have a blog released on Sunday to give you more details on what's expected for your next week's weather into the following weekend. And again, remember, download my weather app, AT's Weather to Go. It's free on Apple, Google Play. You can track the rainfalls that moves through your area if you got to time things out, if you have anything to do outdoors. That is it for me, you guys. It's been great. As always, appreciate your support, liking, sharing the videos on YouTube, Facebook, all that. Rumbles, give me some rumbles. Still have yet to figure out that old system yet. But anyway, so appreciate you guys, and we'll talk again soon. Enjoy the rest of your Friday and your weekend. Take care.